You mentioned that you want to have a natural delivery, or in most cases, that means that people don't want an epidural. You've gone to a Lamaze class and done much to prepare, and that's great because people who go into labor and delivery without being prepared are usually surprised by how bad it hurts and don't do well. So that's great that you've prepared, and I hope that your support person, whether that's your husband or your boyfriend or maybe another family member, a sister or your mom, has gone with you to help prepare because you can't do it alone. Emotional support is huge. So the main purpose of Lamaze class is to teach you to breathe, distract yourself, relax on command, and also to stay focused and in control. So it sounds like you've covered things pretty well from that side of things, but also know that, well, I teach prenatal classes, and I always start out by saying that the purpose of the class is not to bring your pillows and get down on the floor and breathe the whole time, because there's so much more to labor and delivery than just pain control. Obviously, that's a large part of it, and how well you control yourself is going to have something to do with how well your labor progresses. If you're not in good control, you will actually impede your progress, and your uterus won't contract as well, and it can actually slow things down. But the main purpose of the prenatal classes that I teach is to teach people to have an open mind and to realize that there are many different situations that may end up being yours when you end up going through labor and delivery, some of which are ideal, others which aren't so much. Once you get pregnant, every woman who's ever had a baby likes to tell you what happened to her when she delivered. And sometimes people tell you a story and you're like, wow, I could have done without hearing that. And other times you hear a story and you think to yourself, oh, I hope that's my experience. That sounds so amazing. But the bottom line is your baby is in control. You are not in control as much as you'd like to be. And how well your baby's tolerating labor and how well your body's changing is going to dictate the care that the doctors and nurses give to you. For example, there might be, sometimes I have a patient who comes in and doesn't want to be monitored, or they don't want to be monitored all the time, or they don't plan on getting an epidural, and a certain position that they find most comfortable is not good for the baby. I had a patient just a couple weeks ago who wanted to stand up, and every time she stood up, her baby would have a huge dip in the heart rate, meaning your baby wasn't tolerating that position. It was causing the baby stress. So we put her on her side. The side is always the position where the baby's going to get the most blood and oxygen. And a couple minutes later, she wanted to stand up again, so we tried it again, and the exact same thing happened. The heart rate dropped. And after 3 times of doing this, she realized that her baby just would not like that position. So we tried to find a different position where her baby was doing well, but she was also comfortable, or at least could tolerate it. And so that's what I mean by your baby definitely controls things during your labor and delivery experience. There are experiences where a C-section is necessary. Sometimes we have to run people down the hall for an emergency C-section because for one reason or another their baby's not tolerating labor and needs to come out right now. And so I think it would be good that you go to just a regular prenatal class that will help prepare you for any and all situations that might be yours. So that if you don't get the most ideal one, just the typical, run-of-the-mill, great vaginal delivery, that those situations do happen, they are normal, and that you'll be okay and your baby will be okay as long as you're in the hospital and you listen to the doctors and the nurses. We're there to help you, and our main goal is to help you through the process safely and to get you and your baby healthy and well through it all. So healthy mom, healthy baby, that's our goal, and we're assuming it's yours too. I also think it's good for people who aren't planning on epidurals to at least know their options, to hear the facts about an epidural and also the facts about other IV pain medication we can give you during labor, so that if it gets to be too much for you, you know what your options are. Good luck with everything. Congratulations ahead of time. And if you have any other questions about your specific situation, be sure to talk to your OB. But if you have other questions for me, I'd love to help you out. And feel free to ask them on our Facebook page and recommend us to your friends and family too.